The New York Giants needed to clear at least $4 or $5 million of salary cap just before the 4 p.m. deadline just to get under the league-wide minimum that you need for the NFL salary cap heading into the beginning of the NFL season starting this Thursday. And the New York Giants did that today by restructuring the contract of veteran defensive lineman Leonard Williams. And the New York Giants were able to clear at least $12 million in salary cap space, and being able to not only get underneath the salary cap, but also be able to provide the insurance that somebody like Leonard Williams might be part of the team after this year. What's going on, everybody? This is NYG Jeffy T 3285. I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday morning so far, and I'm just here with a little bit of New York Giants football news in regards to a veteran player, Leonard Williams, defensive lineman, having his contract restructured to get the New York Giants much needed cap space heading into this season. So the New York Giants knew that they had to clear at least $4 or $5 million, and it was just a question of who was going to be the player they might have to cut, might have to release, or unfortunately, which Joe Schoen has repeatedly said, they might have to restructure, and he's not a fan of restructuring contracts unless it's absolutely deemed necessary. Well, that's exactly the case that happened for the New York Giants, as the Giants today have restructured Leonard Williams' contract, and they have now converted $17.88 million base salary into a signing bonus, while also adding a void year to his contract, as we know that Leonard Williams' contract now will probably add that void year after this year, as I believe next year is the last year of his contract. So that means the New York Giants, if they want to, they can find a way to get out of that contract after this year a lot easier, unless he's a guy they want to try to plan on keeping around as a veteran player overall, as he was named captain of this team. So that just means that the New York Giants are going to be willing to at least keep Leonard Williams possibly past this year, but obviously make his 2023 salary a voidable year if in case that's the case they want to release him if he doesn't have an effective year, if they feel like his salary is too high, or if the New York Giants feel like that they can get out of it by that time. So Leonard Williams' contract now has a more voidable and friendly year going to the season. And in order to do that, the New York Giants actually created about $12 million in cap space this year by making this such move for Leonard Williams' contract, which I believe now Leonard Williams will probably be locked into this team in 2022 and 2023. But the New York Giants will be able to get out of that contract when it comes around 2024. I have to go over the details a little bit more. Once I do that, I'll make sure to provide the information for you guys in the comment section as well as in the title, just to let you guys know about what more is it like with Leonard Williams' contract. But I believe the voidable year will be in 2023. I might be wrong. I'll go over the numbers just to make sure. But New York Giants have converted $17.88 million in a base salary, including a signing bonus, which has been added to Leonard Williams' contract for this year. And it's also adding a voidable year in 2024, I'm guessing, even though it could be 2023. So Leonard Williams' contract restructure has added $12 million in cap space for the New York Giants, which should definitely put them below the minimum. So the New York Giants should be ready, and it probably gives them at least 7 to 8 million, or like 7 to 8 million, maybe 9 of cap space right now for the Giants to operate with this year. So that's obviously a very big thing to do. Kudos to Joe Schoen, even though he didn't want to do this. He didn't want to try to restructure any of these contracts. He knew what he had to do. He obviously doesn't have to tinker with his roster right now. And the Leonard Williams restructure probably ensures that he will be part of the team in 2023. It also is be able to create enough cap space where the New York Giants not only will be able to be behind underneath the league minimum that is required for this team going forward, but it also pretty much gives the Giants a little bit of space that if they have to suffer any type of injuries during the season, that the Giants now will have a little bit more cap space to operate, would be able to sign some practice squad players to the active roster, as well as if there's any injuries, they could sign some potential street free agents during the season to add to their roster throughout the year if they do suffer some unfortunate injuries throughout the season. Now, the New York Giants also made a move onto their practice squad today as they signed veteran wide receiver Marcus Johnson, who's played 6 years in the league, 1 year He's played 1 year with the Philadelphia Eagles, where he was signed as an undrafted free agent out of Texas back in 2017. He then played at least 3 years with the Indianapolis Colts from 2018 to 2020, and then he actually returned to the Philadelphia Eagles back in 2021. And over his career, Marcus Johnson has played in 41 games, 12 games started, where he's accounted 51 receptions over those 41 games, with 839 yards receiving. He has a 15.7 yards per catch average with a long of 55 yards, and he scored a total of 3 touchdowns over the span of those 41 games in his 6-year career. Marcus Johnson's most recent season, also in 2021, he got 7 games started. He had played in 7 games with 3 games started, where he got 9 receptions for 61 yards at a total of 17.5 yards per catch with a long of 50 yards overall. So this is a guy that does have some NFL experience. The 6'1", 207-pound wide receiver out of Texas is going to be a guy that's going to provide a little bit more height, more veteran experience for the New York Giants practice squad. And for instance, if somebody like a Darius Slayton isn't pulling his weight, or if he gets hurt, or if Sterling Shepard gets hurt, same thing with Kadarius Toney or Kenny Golladay. You have somebody like a veteran like Marcus Johnson, who does have some experience playing in the league, obviously with the 41 games experience, and his numbers aren't that bad. And he also has started over his career at least 12 games this year with 51 receptions and 839 yards, and he also has 3 touchdowns. So he's a guy that does have that experience, and he could be called upon to play in the game if, God forbid, the New York Giants need a veteran wide receiver to be called up from the practice squad to come in and play some minutes for the New York Giants and get some reps at the wide receiver position going forward. So the Giants add some much-needed veteran help to that wide receiver core. I don't have a corresponding move yet to this Marcus Johnson signing to the practice squad. Once the corresponding move happens, I'll make sure to provide you that for you guys in either the title or in the comment section of who the corresponding move is for Marcus Johnson's inclusion to the practice squad. So that's just the news I want to go over with you guys so far today. The New York Giants have converted $17.88 million of Leonard Williams' base salary into a signing bonus for this year, and it's in that way they've added a void year to Leonard Williams' contract, probably heading into the 2024 NFL season, and in turn, with converting this $17.88 million of base salary into a signing bonus, the Giants have created at least $12 million in salary cap space for 2022 in order for this Leonard Williams restructure. And at the same time, the New York Giants have signed 6'1", 207-pound, 6-year veteran receiver Marcus Johnson to their practice squad, with a corresponding move coming in the days for this Marcus Johnson move. So that's the news for today. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Subscribe if you haven't already to NYG Jeffy T 3285 for more breaking news, updates, and chatter surrounding the New York Football Giants, as well as the New York Mets, the Brooklyn Nets, WWE wrestling, as well as some food for thought. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short that's going to be dropping on the channel. As well as let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this Leonard Williams restructured contract. If you think it's a good move by Joe Schoen, if it's obviously a move that had to be made in order to prevent anybody else that needed to be cut off this roster, and also what you guys think about the Marcus Johnson signing to the practice squad. If you think he's could be a guy that maybe, with obviously the injury issues we have at the wide receiver core, maybe Marcus Johnson is a guy that could provide some veteran play from the wide receiver position going forward. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Tuesday morning. Take it easy, and let's go New York Football Giants. Together Blue, everyone.